Well, can I have your attention for the next bout, as it were? I'm Jude Kelly, Artistic Director of the Southbank Centre, for those who haven't met me yet. And this is day 2 of the WOW Festival. I say day 2 because yesterday we had a whole day dedicated to girls' education. We had many hundreds of young girls crafting what gender equality could look like in the curriculum. And it was a very exciting day, ending with an all-girl jazz band here and a mean tenor saxophonist of 16 playing Miles Davis like you've never heard it. It was tremendous. Now, you are all sitting here because you're about to go into the speed mentoring, which Hannah will explain to you after we've heard from our great guest of honour this afternoon, Jessye Norman. Yes, isn't that fantastic? And for those people who are whooping, I agree. I can't believe she's with us either, but she is. She really is. And of course, she's with us symbolically and actually because she's somebody who, like very few people I've ever known on the planet, has done something, risen to meteoric fame against a backdrop which isn't conventional, and then used that fame and that influence to really shift the potential of other people too. So Madeleine Albright said, there's a special place reserved in hell for women who won't help other women. And I'm assuming the reverse is true. And if the reverse is true, then Jessye will be there to greet you all. She obviously brings her passion for singing to everything she surveys in opera and concert stages, and then the new expansion of her work into the world of jazz. And she's so eclectic, both in her programming and in her scholarship, that it would be too long to tell you everything she's done. In March 2012, she performed songs of John Cage with Meredith Monk and Joan LaBarbera. She's just recently told me that it's the 9th academic year now of the Jessye Norman School for the Arts in her hometown of Augusta, Georgia. It's a tuition-free arts program for talented middle school students who wouldn't be able to get private tutoring in the arts otherwise. She's an honorary ambassador for the United Nations, a fellow at Jesus Newham College at Cambridge University, a Commandeur des Arts et des Lettres, as well as a Légion d'honneur in France. And I just can't tell you how many Grammys she's won and endless doctorates, etc. But the main thing about her is she turns up, and she's turned up. And so we're really thrilled to hear from her about her passion and her belief in life. Jessye Norman.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. One's life has value so long as one attributes value to the lives of others by means of love, friendship, indignation, and compassion. With these words of Simone de Beauvoir, it is my honor and my joy to be with you this afternoon and to speak to you, women of the world, and to the men with whom we share this planet most cordially. Happy International Women's Day. I believe that love, friendship, indignation, and compassion are your watchwords. That you bring these beautiful sentiments into reality on a daily basis through your thoughts, your strong voices, and your purpose-filled actions, because you believe, as I do, that the human condition is malleable, not to be left stuck in its own insouciance, that indeed we can be made whole. I would like to speak for a few moments about art, big A-R-T. You are no doubt filled with your own knowledge of the importance of art in our lives. Let us please abandon the thought that only singers can sing and pianists can play the piano, and that great art has to come from someone with great talent. Art is for all of us. Give me just a moment of your time, as I find we are too often treated as though work with our bodies were less important than work with our minds. Our heads more important than our hearts. If you and I had been sitting here in an era other than this wildly modern one, we would rest on chairs or stools made by hand, each one a little different from the other, each one a unique expression of human creativity. We would wear woven clothing and carved jewelry that would be a part of a communal tradition, yet individually unique. We would celebrate with food and drink that would be creations in themselves, taken from vessels that would be objects of art, as well as utensils for everyday use. We would surely be singing and dancing together. You see, we would be living artfully without trying. Albert Einstein, and I love this quotation, stated, "When I examine myself and my method of thought, I come to the conclusion that the gift of fantasy has meant more to me than my talent for absorbing knowledge." Albert Einstein, the gift of fantasy, creativity. Now, if Einstein felt this way, I would encourage all of us to simply raise our hands to the sky and rejoice in our own creative spirits, our own possibilities. Creativity equals self-knowledge. This knowledge can lead to wisdom, and wisdom to the understanding of others. And this understanding undoubtedly leads to tolerance. My point here is that your understanding of and your practice of any form of artistic expression makes you qualified more than some to help to lead this world out of its malaise. Celebrate yourselves. Celebrate your art. Celebrate its wisdom. Celebrate all that is possible. Your sophisticated, educated selves might look with a questioning eye on the pure pleasure you feel in singing a Bach cantata in the community choir, or sitting down to see just how much of that piano composition studied some time ago is still in there somewhere. Or you found yourself at an art installation that you felt you ought to see, and to your surprise, discovered yourself completely enthralled. Or you were so moved by the birth of your first child that you actually wrote a poem, maybe even a haiku. The art of your spirit, my friends. Allow me to encourage you to accept something further that the great Einstein had to say. Quote, "Creativity is the residue of wasted time." Creativity is the residue of wasted time. With this, I ask you to continue to give your minds the freedom to wonder, to dream, to plan, to think really, really big thoughts on how you individually, or perhaps as a part of a group that you might well create, can act on your own plans for offering friendship, for shaping your dreams, or giving more love, to engage in expressing indignation at the injustices of our world, to take delight in bestowing compassion on everyone. Listen to these thoughts of yours. Enjoy them. Indulge them. Nurture them. And make them grow. This residue has life in it. These dreams, this creativity, this art of your spirit is the very music of your soul. And then there is the question of the children and their path to wholeness. Education in the arts for our children is not only desired, it is essential. We who support our communities and thereby our school systems are remiss in allowing arts education to simply fall away from the school's curricula. Thank you. We owe it to our children, all of the children of this world, to do better. They deserve this invaluable guidance on their journeys to completeness. Art brings us together as a family because it is an individual expression of universal human experience. It comes from that part of us that is without fear, prejudice, malice, or any of the other things that we create in order to separate ourselves one from the other. Art makes each of us whole, complete, by insisting that we use all of our senses, our heads and our hearts, that we express with our bodies, with our voices, our hands, as well as with our minds. In Arthur O'Shaughnessy's single poem, which he called Ode, he wrote in his praise of artists everywhere, quote, "We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams, wandering by lone sea breakers and sitting by desolate streams, on whom the pale moon gleams. Yet we are the movers and shakers of the world forever, it seems." Unquote. What a thought. Creative spirits, the movers and shakers of this world. Where could all this lead? We might come across the notion that an awakened spirit, this ability to express ourselves through our individual offerings, could well be the real meaning of life. That the exploration of our own imagination is indeed one's real life's work. The exploration of our own imagination. Please listen to these words that came to me in my inbox from an unknown author. I offer you this as a kind of creed for this beautiful festival, devoted to celebrating all of which the human spirit is capable. This was a wonderful message. It begins, "On the surface of the world right now, there is war and violence, and things seem dark. But calmly and quietly, at the same time, something else is happening. underground, an inner revolution is taking place, and certain ones of us are being called to a higher light. It is a silent revolution from the inside out. We are slowly creating a new world with the power of our minds and our hearts. We follow with passion and joy our spiritual intelligence. We are dropping soft love bombs when no one is looking. Poems, hugs, music, photography, movies, kind words, smiles, dance, beautiful graphic art, random acts of kindness. We each express ourselves in our own ways with our own gifts and talents. Yes, be the change that you want to see in this world.